Hi, I'm Kevin Mahan.
And I'm Sam Chaplin.
I host the Attitude Era podcast.
And I haven't seen any films.
And welcome to Cinema Swirl. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Cinema Swirl. I'm going to try to do like some sort of thing where we describe the podcast in the first few moments of the podcast now. Because that whole thing you said about, Cinema Swirl not selling the bill of goods.
Yeah, way back in episode 1.
In episode 1. That vision hath come true.
Has it? Are people confused?
I don't know. I think it's that if you found it just normally on iTunes, you just saw us there, you think it's two really adorable cartoon men reviewing films.
You won't know what's going on.
What's going on?
Okay.
So let's give this a whirl. Hi, I'm Kevin Mahan, and my friend Sam's not seen any film ever.
Yeah, the basic gist.
Also, dip-de-doo, he's my OT too, because there are two of us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
There you go. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
We've got it.
We got it.
No, I've not seen stuff. Kevin has seen stuff. We sit down, we watch the films.
Well, you've seen 4 of them now, haven't
We
you?
have a bloody blast.
Yeah. We have a good old time here on Cinema Swirl. You've watched 4 movies so far, eh?
Yeah.
How's the experience?
Not in total in my life.
Well, I mean, what's that bring the full total up to? Like 10?
11, maybe.
Are we counting the Lee Mack DVDs?
This is like a retro callback to episode 1.
Well, this episode is a very special one. It's the first one where we've... I love that we started off as like, go and be simple, guys. Just go do a vote, and we'll just vote, and that'll be fine. And then it comes to the point where it's like, we actually really want to review The Shining.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. We want to. Well,
People,
maybe in your case, but people want us to review it.
Yeah, and
it really came properly close second twice, and
so,
that
I think we need to. I think that we can call this like the Henderson Edict, or give it an official sounding term. The technicality in the Cinema Swirl voting system.
Yeah. Over
on Facebook.com/Cinema Swirl. If you're coming twice second by a frog's hair, we're going to review it.
You obviously want to hear this. So.
And as a result, no one voted for this one in first place the last 2 weeks. It is The Shining.
Woo!
It's a big one.
Yeah.
A very big one. Our first horror film.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, it is, of course, time to delve into the old mailbag.
Oh.
Why is the deal with everyone saying mailbag these days, even though the physical mailbag has probably never been used for something like this?
Well, you can't see it on a podcast, Kevin. It could be a mailbag. I could have printed them off.
We get people like, print them off and you put them into envelopes.
Shall we set up a P.O. box?
So people, we only want real physical letters.
Yeah.
It's like the way someone was telling me that if you read a book on a Kindle, you've not really read the book.
No, you have. You've read the words. You've seen them.
Much like the people who've sent these messages in really haven't sent anything in at all. And on that moment,
with that in mind,
there's
nothing.
Time to dip into this nothing bag of nothingness. Yeah. People send these to cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
And that includes all potential advertisers as well. Pepsi Max,
Pepsi Max, please. Just follow us. Yeah.
What happens if you got followed by Pepsi but not Pepsi Max?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh no,
it's the wrong brand. Like, I don't want to get followed by VH. I want to get followed by MTV.
Actually, that is the thing. We are trying to get Pepsi Max UK to follow us.
Yeah, definitely. We have a massively nice number of followers there on Twitter @Cinema Swirl. It's trying to campaign to get Pepsi Max to follow us.
Pepsi Max UK.
Pepsi Max UK @Pepsi Max UK. I think that there can be a lot done with this relationship going forward.
We're not saying pester them.
Well, the problem is that I saw people had actually started tweeting Pepsi Max and going, oh, give him a follow, you dirty old soft drink, you bubbly bastards. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I looked on Pepsi Max's actual Twitter thing, and it's like, the latest tweet they sent as of recording was terms and conditions apply.
Okay.
And a link to a mad load of rules for some competition. So it may be a tough one.
We've got to break through that cold heart.
We've got to break on through to the other side. So, I mean, one theory I have is that, obviously, Sam Chaplin, big customer for Pepsi Max.
I've sponsored Pepsi Max, really.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we should withhold your patronage of their particular soft drink.
Yeah.
But, I mean if it comes to it, That being said, if we were to take you off Pepsi Max, the podcast wouldn't last very long.
We don't know what would happen.
The podcast was mad aggressive.
That'll be a bonus episode.
And Sam just shaking, hitting his head off the microphone. But yeah, no, let's help make that happen, folks. Yeah, we appreciate our support and endeavours such as that. Gonna dip into the old mailbag here. Got a lot of ones here from Cinema Swirl.
I was just thinking, Kevin, sorry to interrupt.
We're never going to get to this fucking mailbag.
You were saying at the start, like, people who've not listened before won't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Then we're just talking about, get Pepsi Max to follow us, yeah?
Go, if you don't know what's going on, what are you doing starting an episode?
Start at the start, yeah.
Yeah, rewind the podcast.
Don't just listen to your favourite.
Yeah, listen to the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we got one or two that were actually in and around the same kind of, same thing basically. One from James Albrecht and one from Kevin Poole, both asking generally, what is the worst film you've ever seen? With James stipulating as a bonus or higher tier question, was there ever a movie that actually made you walk out and realise that, your illusions have been shattered of films being wonderful? And Kev saying, is there one that actually made you walk out of the cinema?
Okay, so
I mean, alright, worst film you've ever seen.
I really want to, straight away I just thought Star Wars The Clone Wars, because it was so piss poor. But that's the one that I just think, that's a bad film that I've seen. It is objectively
It's thoroughly rubbish.
But it was funny how bad it was. And I didn't want to leave, because I wanted to keep watching how bad this film was.
What's great about the movie, it's like, it was bad, but now that you've seen the first Star Wars, you even have perspective to gain truly how bad it is.
My memory of it is sort of soured as a result of watching the first. Like, it's getting worse.
It's like getting sick, like vomiting a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then later finding out that he actually had a really weird, disgusting parasite. It's like, oh, that's what caused that. Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Doubly unpleasant.
Yeah.
So would you say that's probably the worst?
That's the one I think of off the top of my head. I fell asleep during a film. That... I've never walked out. I don't think I've ever walked out.
Well, you mentally walked out.
I checked out mentally. I just
what was
gave
it?
up. It was the reboot of the Hulk with Edward Norton.
I like that actually.
I think it might have been good. I don't know.
What, were you just a sleepy man?
I was just very tired. It wasn't like, this is so dull. I'm having a snooze.
So this was a case of the man was made but from flesh, kind of, as opposed to the film.
I was so tired and I just fell asleep.
Did you wake up and then he was like, oh, he's green now. What's going on?
I woke up and there was a different film on.
So you've never walked out of the cinema?
No, have you? I imagine you have.
I don't think I have, actually.
Really?
I only walked out once, but it's not really... I saw Rambo 5, the remake of Rambo, which is fucking awesome, by the way.
Good.
You watched Broken Skull Challenge the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Good in the same hemisphere.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was... Came to the final reel and the sound got messed up, so we sat waiting for like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not the film's
fault. It's not really the film's fault. I went back and I saw the rest of it. It was top notch. Worth seeing those last 10 minutes alone. I came close to walking out previously, but if it's ever a film which is going to cause people to walk out, I take sick joy in watching other people walk out and me kind of sitting in there
until the end. Yeah,
like Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of a Vengeance. The group I was with, we took perverse pleasure in watching our thin number thin out even more. Like, we went from 9 to 3 over the course of it. I don't know if you've heard this. I don't know if it's true or not. Someone told me that if you leave, I think this might be the Odeon anyway. That's a chain of cinemas here in the UK. If you leave after it's 15 or 20 minutes, you can get your money back.
Yeah, I've heard that. There is a time limit.
You have a cooling off period.
Yeah.
For whether you like the film or not.
Yeah. But films can be good for like half an hour and then get really rubbish. So that's, yeah.
What I like to do is go down. It's kind of like getting loads of free samples at Ben & Jerry's. See the first 20 minutes of 5 sequential movies. Get a taster.
Try and piece together a narrative.
Yeah, piece together an hour of entertainment from abandoned film watching experiences. We had another one as well, and we do appreciate all. We do read all the ones here, and we've actually got the number of ones has been increasing.
Yes, going
week on week, which we notice people realize that these can actually be fun.
Yeah.
As opposed to
keep them coming, guys.
Keep them coming. We got one here from James McGlynn. Hi, Kevin. I'm here with an important issue to bring to your attention.
Good start.
Thanks very much for getting in touch with important issues to bring to my attention. Although, as we'll learn as the message goes on, the adjective important has, if not, lost some of its elasticity in the last few years. Are you aware that OTP refers to a pairing or two people and not one? I have no idea why I'm getting hung up on that detail when you could just as equally could be humorously implying a comedic subtextual desired pairing between yourself and himself. It's just not clear at this point in time. However, this phrase, Sam is my OTP, is far too ambiguous on this point. Mate, I think it's pretty clear that Sam's my OTP.
Okay, hold on, Kevin.
Well, right. Are you using it as a snappy thing that Tumblr teen size punchline, free from much scrutiny, or is it canny podcaster? Don't like what that adjective's going there. More savvy than that. Your fans demand to know. Well, you demand to know.
Okay, who sent this in?
James.
Okay, what James has done, he's misunderstood our definition of OTP.
Yeah.
He thinks OTP, one true pairing. Because how we're using OTP is OTP, if you Google it, this comes up, one-time password.
Yeah.
Now, when I set up all the Cinema Swirl accounts...
Mate, don't tell them the password.
No, well, here's the thing. Here's the great thing about OTP, right? I set up an OTP, a one-time password, so I could let Kevin log on. And that password, Sam Chaplin. So... I don't know where this confusion has come from.
I don't know, man. He's clearly just like...
This is Sam, my one-time password, Sam Chaplin.
I'm going to change my mind. I think we can, after that, we can refer to ourselves as being canny.
Yeah, we are canny.
We're nothing if not canny.
We are canny.
But, you know...
Yeah, what James is talking about is the kind of romantic people ship things, don't they?
Yeah.
Ship couples. Of course, you've got little names.
Mate, all aboard the SSOTP.
Yeah, you can make us your OTP. Sure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can combine our names. We've got Sam, we've got Kevin, we've got Cam, Sevin, and we've got surnames, of course, Chaplin, Mahan, so Chahan, and of course Maplin, which I think is the best one.
Definitely, yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate the email, but like, you know, this ain't no OT3. Like, I mean, OT see you later. You know what I'm saying?
Hashtag Maplin might go wrong.
Yeah, it might just like. I mean, we can't get Pepsi to follow us. Yeah. Maplin Electronics, the largest retailer of consumer electronics in the UK, is a surefire number 2. Like, I mean, we're going to get free Pepsi or free USB sticks out of this game.
I will drink either.
I will drink either happily as well. Yep. Film today, as not voted by you, The Shining.
Yes.
Couple of big firsts for this one. First horror film, which we're reviewing. Do you get scared easily by films? Because usually I keep track of your laughs. Tonight I'm planning, we're watching this on an eerie Friday night, and it's just after going very dark here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to keep track of I have an eek counter.
Okay, a spookometer.
A spookometer, as it were. So do you get, scared easily by films?
I don't watch a lot of horror films, that's the thing. I kind of deliberately avoid them. Because I think, like, the kind of jump scary...
So you in and of yourself, though, that's admitting that you think they have the potential to scare you. Yeah. You actively avoid them.
No, like, the type of scary... there's not two types. There's lots of types of scary. But, like, the film scary, you've got, like, psychological...
tension building. Chilly is what that is.
Yeah.
As opposed to spooky.
Stuff that will upset you scary. Like, but there's also the kind of... that kind of... which actually
hell!
Which actually worked perfectly
Mate,
with Kevin there.
Mark that up on the Eekometer. Kevin Dunn scored 1 on the Eekometer.
It makes you jump, and you can't help it. It's when there's like it goes quiet.
Particularly if you've got a big cinema screen with giant speakers.
Yeah, it's gonna get you. And I don't think like that.
Yeah, and if I'm the kind of person who just kind of goes, ugh, when a big comes to something like that, I'm like, okay, that means that there's something wrong with my basic motor functions.
I still have it. I know it's coming, and I brace myself for it, but I still get the thing. And it's not a fun sensation. I don't know why people like that.
So you're not a fan then of horror movies?
Not really.
Is there any horror movies you've seen that you like?
You know what, Kevin?
Horror comedy doesn't count.
Okay, well...
I'm talking about movies where you've been genuinely scared that you've come, oh my God, that scared the fuck out of me, and that's awesome. Or at least given you the heebie-jeebies. Or at least you could have appreciated how it was scary for other people.
I'm going to put this out there, and it has since sort of become like a shit thing. Mm-hmm. The first Saw film...
Yeah.
Pretty good in terms of...
When did that come out?
2005?
So you would have been a wee chaplain.
Young enough that I shouldn't have been watching it, really. It was, that was pretty freaky stuff. And that's not really jumpy scary. That's more, he's having to cut off his eye or something to. You
are pretty squeamish.
Am I?
I think so.
I don't like spiders.
You don't like blood.
They're not blood, but,
Yeah.
I don't mind blood.
Gore, I would say you're a fan of.
No, I can deal with blood, I think.
This will be really interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Couple of names. first of all, director of this, obviously us being film buffs now, because you've seen 4 films.
Canny film buffs.
Canny film podcasting OT buffs.
I don't know why that's funny.
I don't either, me neither. Get that buffs. A t-shirt. OT buffs. Stanley Kubrick.
Yes.
Name ring a bell?
Yeah.
Seen any of his work?
I've seen Clockwork Orange. I like Clockwork Orange.
Okay. My dad got me a Clockwork Orange poster the other day.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's nice.
No idea why.
I got a chocolate orange from the shop. £1.
So your Clockwork Orange, that's one of the few ones, because a few people had requested that. That was one of the few ones that's actually not on the Sam Chaplin Not Seen Any Films Made list.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw that quite early on.
Fan?
Yeah, big fan.
I thought I would put that in the kind of...
watched it on VHS.
I would put that in there with kind of your Fight Club and Pulp Fiction in terms of every teenage boy is going to watch that.
Yeah, it would work for this, though. If I hadn't seen it, I think it's kind of up there.
It's one of the higher ones up there, definitely. Anything else? Are you familiar with Stanley Kubrick? 2001: A Space Odyssey?
I haven't seen 2001.
Doctor Strange of...
Nope.
Full Metal Jacket?
Nope.
Eyes Wide Shut?
No.
Well, you haven't seen obviously things like Spartacus and older films like that. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's pretty prolific. I mean, Well, saying prolific is an incorrect use of that word. He's
made a lot of films.
He's made, most movies he's made have been, seminally important in some people's eyes or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say claim to be, a devotee of Stanley Kubrick and all that. Any of his films I've seen, I've tended to be like, whoa, holy shit. And he always makes an effort to make his films be very different and stuff like that. This is the first movie where I don't know if things like this are even going to register with us, because we usually just watch these for goofs, but I don't know, cinematography and the director having a real sense over things. This is not a popcorn classic, so to speak, what we're about to sit into. No. It's a much more dense affair, I think.
I think so.
Are you up for the challenge, Sam?
I'm up for the challenge, yeah.
Alright, another name I have to mention though, because this is a big one.
I'm so I know what you're going to say. I'm really worried that I'm not going to be able to think of anything.
Jack Nicholson.
I know who... Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, Hollywood funny man, Jackie Nicholson. Can you do a Jack Nicholson impression?
No.
Anything?
No, I don't even really know... Oh, he's...
Oh, do you know any of it? What do you know? What do you know him for?
The thing that I was I'm really worried that I was going to just not have anything. Because I just worried my memory's bad. But I've seen him in the Tim Burton Batman. He was the Joker.
Yeah. Did you like him in that? Or were you too busy focusing on the music? Another inside ref to episode 1. Were you a fan of him in that? Yeah. I fucking love Jack Nicholson. I think he's...
Okay, you're big...
He's a ridiculous man. I love that.
Yeah, he is weird.
He is, but he's fucking good.
I don't...
Do you know him from anything other than Joker and the Batman? Don't worry, this is a safe zone, as we've established. Someone else listening on Twitter is going to be like, I've not seen that either, and I also like Pepsi Cherry, so,
okay. Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Could you do a quote or anything associated with him?
We'll talk about this in a bit, that a lot of quotes from Shining I sort of know already.
Oh, really? I mean, what quotes from The Shining? I mean, Shining is one. Were people ever pestered you to watch The Shining?
A little bit.
Because I know a lot of people have been they refuse to watch it because they're like, oh, it's too scary. Yeah. And it's not really. So, I mean...
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
Which in itself, funnily enough, is a reference.
To Johnny Carson?
Hey! Sam Chaplin on top of his American talk show host.
There's that. There's all work and no play makes... I'm worried. I know a lot about... Yeah, the shinning.
I mean, you have to acknowledge it. The first time I saw this movie, I had a fucking laugh riot. Because it was 97, 98. I was just young enough to kind of still not take things like that seriously. And I was a big Simpsons fan, and I just couldn't get through the movie without...
Is it a whole episode, or is it Halloween?
It was one of the Treehouse of Horrors. But it's one of the real classic Simpson parodies of something. Have you seen it? The Shining?
Yeah. Not in a while, but I have seen it. So things like that.
What bits from The Shining besides Here's Johnny?
Here's Johnny, all work and no play. There's little twins.
Who do you think the little twins are?
Just little twins. Twin girls. Little girls. Twins. They're in a corridor.
They can say twins over and over again like some divine
they're
inspiration.
in space as well. Boy on a tricycle.
Yeah.
Red rum.
Wow, that's another and that was in Simpsons as well, if you remember.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Someone freezes at the end. There's some freezing going on.
Yeah.
very obscure frame of reference, a musician that we are both familiar with, Jay Retard.
Yeah.
An album cover of his is taken, like, it's him recreating a screen cap from The Shining.
What do you think happens in The Shining?
They go to a house.
Mm-hmm. Who are they? Oh.
Family.
A family.
Jackie Nicholson.
Tell us a story, Sam.
Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, Jackie Nicholson and his family... Okay, but the thing about Shining, I'm thinking now, I think they're a nice family. Uh-huh. They go to a house.
Yeah.
The house fucks them up. That's been done, like, since...
Evil? Are you saying evil house, then?
Evil house, I'm saying.
Ghost house.
Ghost house.
Haunted house.
Haunted.
You didn't tell me there'd be no ghosts in this house.
Yeah, I think that sort of kind of creepy trope.
Okay.
Might have existed pre-Shining, but since Shining, I think there's other things where it's like, nice family go to a place, awful things happen in the nice place.
So basically you're saying that Shining kind of like solidifies the spook house trope.
Yeah.
As in house that is... Is the house haunted?
I don't know if it's haunted.
Or the house itself is evil. That's what you seem to be.
It might be a bad house.
For fuck's sake.
Naughty house.
It was made by a cowboy builder. I saw him on ITV1's Great British Cowboy Bake Off. Oh, there's another way to see it. Obviously, Shining. Do you know where it comes from originally?
Again, this is like... We said we were going to do The Shining, and then people have been talking to me about it because I interact with people who listen to the podcast.
Sam Chaplin.
Yeah.
At Kefin Man.
Yep. With an F.
With an F. On Twitter. Yeah. With 2 T's.
No, people have been talking to me like IRL, in real life, about Shining.
Yeah.
Like, you should watch the TV series because Stephen King had more of an input in that, and there was some kind of argument with Kubrick.
Stephen King, yeah. The reason is because Stephen King, you obviously know him, horror writer. Mm-hmm. Basically, real life Garth Marenghi. Yeah. And I know there's a disagreement about this film in that, because, Kubrick, I think we mentioned with his other movies, very strong vision, very strong stamp on the film, and kind of very Billy Basic. I know there's more to it than this. Stephen King thought that his vision of the book was obscured by Kubrick's kind of overall vision, and kind of he changed. Not necessarily changed things, but the point maybe was lost in Stephen King's mind or whatever.
Most, if not all, of Kubrick's stuff is based on existing literature.
A lot of it is, yeah. But, I mean, Stephen King, you ever read a Stephen King book?
Not really.
I knew a lad in school who used to pretend to read Stephen King books. Yeah. Get big out, like a big, good value book.
Read Ghostbusters, mate.
I'm talking about Stephen King books now. Yeah. This lad, he'd take him out like...
Any big books?
He'd be size of 3 of your books, like family economies, like a book that'd feed a family of 6.
Yeah.
Leftovers. Have a bit of book in a Tupperware box for the next day's dinner.
Take a chapter each.
He'd pick it up and we'd be like, man, this man's pounding through these books. He's knocking them back. I think he's got bookaholism. And I sat down once and I was reading in study hall. He's like, I'm reading Stephen King's The Shining today. Pulls out this book that's bigger than him, and man, you ever see a man pretend to read like for the? I mean, I'm not gonna. This isn't somebody. He didn't have like learning difficulties. He was just a lazy guy. Like he was just one of those kinds of guys who wanted to say that he had read a big book to impress a teacher, and he'd look and his head would move.
Once he started.
Like the amount of time it takes to go, right, do they think I'm reading it, and to shake the head left to right, turn the page at an amount of time that they've determined is enough to make you think that's way more hard than reading.
Yeah, it is.
Deception for the sake of deception right there. Yeah, I'm proud to admit, never read a Stephen King book.
Okay, me neither. So.
Hot trash.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he came up with a lot of very goofy things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of it is kind of classic, isn't it? In terms of
exactly. It's seminal, I'd say, Have you ever been scared by reading a book? Just as a final one here.
No.
Because that's what people find like, the Stephen King book, it's so scary. And I'm almost like tempted to not read it.
How are you scared by a book?
Yeah, exactly.
You nerd.
I get scared by no book. What are you? Some geek?
Yeah.
Who are you taking to the prom? A book?
Well, that's the point, actually. Books can't go... They can't really...
They can if they're pop-up. Yeah, they can. Like the books I read. I turned that book and I pulled a peg and a ruddy big ghost shot out at me. creaking.
Took me right by surprise.
Folded out like they do.
Or if it's got those things that they have in like expensive greetings cards that open up and it makes a noise. It's usually
whatever
like,
you want, whatever you need.
Congratulations.
Boom! I feel that the mood is far too light now.
Okay.
For you to be legitimately scared by this film.
Okay, well, we'll see, I'm sure.
We're going to observe official Cinema Swirl spooky film rules. This is our first spook film.
Okay.
Lights will be off.
Right.
And we will sit on separate couches.
Okay. So no cuddling if we're scared.
To sense the feeling of anticipation and dread.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go do a Cinema Swirl?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, OTP. Let's
do this.
Let's do a swirl. England. Talk about football coming home. Talk about Shining coming home. To set the scene for you right now, that is a long movie.
Yeah.
Longer than we initially had anticipated. And welcome to the first ever edition of Midnight Swirl with Sam and Kevin.
We've got our hot beverages.
And good Lord, Sam Chaplin has previously mentioned a professor of wizardry when it comes to making tea.
Good tea.
Initial reactions. Good film is a more important question.
Right. Well, here's the thing. In the other films, I've been able to go either yeah or yeah or fuck yeah. But this is more.
It's weird because there are two ways at the moment. It's like one is like, Sam, you do seem visibly upset and distressed right now. I'm like, that is probably a good thing, but it's very hard to resolve that as it being a good thing.
Yeah, that's not like, it was shit. It's like, it worked really well at scaring me a bit. Yeah.
So it scared you at points?
Well, it's more freaking out. That's
what it's going for.
It was unsettling. That's the word I kept thinking. This is really unsettling me.
I think you mentioned before we watch... He said that there was the two kinds of scares. There was the one where it was like, blah! And then there was
this one.
Whereas this one, I don't know, I'd argue that this has kind of got there's a deeper scare to it than simply going, you know, it's, man, this gets to you.
Whew. Yep.
Are you alright?
Yep.
You sure you want another bit of tea or something?
No, I'll get through my tea during this show. But...
Okay, well, I mean, throughout watching this, I was keeping score to see if you seemed visibly scared at points. Mm-hmm. And then we
were in the dark, though.
We were in the dark, which made note-taking a scary feat in of itself. And I was a little concerned showing the first horror movie. Admittedly, not a horror fan. Horror movies, when watched in the company of another person, and both of us, we like to take the mickey out of films and all that.
Yeah.
This is a movie, and a lot of horror movies like this, that could easily be disassembled and kind of put away in their little box by snickering at a few moments. Yeah. Not many laughs from you in this one.
Not many. There were some.
There were,
but not as many as.
It boded poorly right off the bat when we started with that big rolling shot and all the synth, and you went, "Is this it?"
No.
It's just a man in a car driving through the countryside.
I did say they were driving through the Google Chromecast backdrop, which is a niche reference, but you'll like it if you know what that is.
The credits then, almost immediately after this, once the credits came up, you just started laughing around the moments.
Okay, well, the shots, I should say.
Yeah.
Of them driving through the country. Absolutely beautiful.
We were watching this on Blu-ray, by the by, and it fucking looked gorgeous.
It looked amazing. But the thing I would say, the titles... Now, right, I've written Windows Movie Maker titles at the start, but the thing is, Windows Movie Maker titles must have been based on something that looks cool at a time.
And you think this may have been it?
Maybe. Like, it's not bad, but it just looks the kind of... I don't know. It's...
I was kind of expecting a watermark in this whole movie in the middle, created by Stanley Kubrick, free trial software.
Yeah, it's just the film itself is so...
So it was the font, then, that got you,
Not the font. It was a very simple font, and it was the movement of the font.
Right.
Even the colour of the font.
Oh, because I thought there were some silly names.
Kevin, there were silly names.
Because, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm a sucker for silly names and credits. I've watched Twin Peaks around 1,000 times, and every time the name Michael Horse comes up... I know, right? I watch it with Adam, and he's like, oh, grow up. It's like, it's a man named after a fucking hoofed animal. I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
That's a funny name.
Michael Horse.
What's the Scatman Crothers?
Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah.
Came up. I'm not sure who the Scatman is.
Someone's going to tell us.
Yeah, who's Scatman Crothers?
There you go. Tweet in at Cinema
Let
Swirl.
us know. But yeah, the film itself is so cinematically, impeccably well done. And then the titles just seem a bit shit, but they're not. But
I mean, he spent too much time. That's common criticism of Kubrick would be that he spends too much time on the film and not enough time on the fonts at the start with the
title design. Yeah,
it's like a very smart student who'd write their name very shoddily at the top of their exam paper. Yeah. Similar context. Films.
Yeah,
but Kubrick, I think, you know, it's easy to kind of just go, oh, strong director there, a lot of directorial style, but you could really tell that it was like not your standard trip to the cinema in this instance. The use of music, the way the camera rolls across some of these shots, the reusing the same kind of camera shots in different contexts. Good God, it's a fucking beautiful film.
It is, yeah. Just to any sort of scene to look at. A lot of these scenes are loopable GIFs.
Yeah. Actually, I think most of this movie has made its way onto Tumblr.
Yeah, because it just looks so good.
And I mean, I'll tell you, Jack Nicholson, he's a straight up OTP. Like, I mean, you know, you can't deny that. We should talk about the man himself first of all. Jack Nicholson in this. What do you reckon to him?
He shows up for this interview.
Yeah.
I thought this film was going to be lovely, friendly family.
Yeah.
Go to a house, I thought. Not a hotel, but whatever.
You thought it was a haunt, like kind of the house itself was the villain. Was I think what you were going for.
But I think Jack Nicholson, already a bit of a creep.
Yeah.
Already a fucking weirdo.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Big eyebrows on him.
Everyone in this film is a bit...
off.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't know, you get a great sense of like, everyone sounds a little unnatural. Everything kind of flows at a slightly unnerving pace. No one ever seems like genuinely comfortable at any given time. And I think that, particularly at the opening scene, the interview scene, it's just kind of like, you could tell there's something off about Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it's like a semi-normal conversation, but it just feels it's just enough that it's what's going on? Yeah, we're introduced to the
mom and boy.
Yep.
Olive oil.
Yeah, I thought we were... She's there, and I thought this was a new little punk brat kid, by the way he was acting up.
Easy money!
Yeah, he's doing the little weird finger thing straight off.
Easy money! Easy money! What do you think of the kid? I mean, child actors. I mean, we ran across... Well, Michael J. Fox was a grown-ass man when he was in Back to the Future, but obviously we had young John Connor as our other child. This was a very young fellow. Good I thought he did a good job.
Yeah,
kids, particularly young kids, can fuck up a movie by being wooden.
Yeah, this kid didn't do that.
No, he's damn good.
Pretty damn convincing.
Yeah, Jackie's very creepy, and also as creepy as the kid's little imaginary friend Tony, who's got that just slightly too creepy voice for him.
Yeah.
Jack is warned. He's taking over, looking over this the hotel, the Overlook Hotel for the off season with his family. He'll be there for 5 months. 5 months of peace and quiet.
Of course, solitude can become a problem for some people. Not for me.
I love my family.
I'm going to be fine.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's also then involved of, like, he goes, just so you know, someone who did this exact job killed their 2 children, their wife, and then themselves. Not me. I don't even know how to use a gun. He's like,
Yeah, 2 little girls. Wonder who they might be.
Who knows? Big question there. Jack Nixon, though, he's like, me? I've never murdered my family.
Yeah.
So we have the kid, Danny, talking to himself for long periods of time, getting some sort of...
Talking to Tony Finger.
Talking to Tony.
Relative of Tom Thumb.
I think you would say he was relative of Tony Soprano. Oh! Forget about it.
Danny, he's not here right now. Oh!
Fucking scafooza. Anyway, we get lots of like visions and stuff which we're going to see throughout the film. Obviously, the blood lift.
The blood lift.
Or the blood elevator, for those of you.
I wrote blood elevator.
There you go, for our American friends.
Yeah, no, that was the first thing where it felt weird. I don't want to say like in me. it's a bit like...
For me, this is one of the moments that the shooting, the Simpsons thing, ruined for me, because I see it and it's like the blood usually gets off at the second floor, you know? It's like, and that's like, there's a few instances in this movie where like, if if you haven't like seen the shitting first, are very scary. Yeah. But this is a part of the movie which I think it's been a bit neutered for me, and it's been parodied a lot as well. I think the
scene is so familiar, and I thought, okay, that's not.
But it's still fucking gross.
But in this film, there's a lot of things where it hangs on something just long enough that you're like, oh,
it's basically the Family Guy principle.
Yeah, no, but. I know that you think that's funny, but that is kind of the thing that kind of happens with jokes, but they're doing it with creepy stuff. That you're like, oh, this...
as opposed to banal humour. Like,
it just sticks around a bit too long.
The doctor visits Danny, and we get to learn, of course, Sam Chaplin's suspicions right off the bat were correct. As we find out that Danny was once involved in an incident where his shoulder got dislocated by Jack, and of course you have Wendy then set up very much as the kind of very much a victim in this movie, in terms of she's like always trying to make like a bright smile on things, but you can tell she's just not got the conviction or she's really like clearly upset by everything she tries to hide. That is fucking horrible. They head to closing day. It's kind of set up like Frasier, this, and that there is fades to black, and then there's a little bit like, you know. Yeah. As they're driving to the hotel, I was heavily thinking about Hotel Hell.
Okay, the Gordon Ramsay.
The Overlook Hotel has been here for generations. What are you doing closing it down for 5 months? He's going to kill his family.
It's not how you run a hotel. On the drive over, Jack's just chatting to Danny about
he's been an asshole, yeah. I'm hungry. Should have eaten your breakfast. Yeah. If your parent says that to you, you're a bad parent.
I'm hungry. Should have eaten some people like these guys.
Why don't you eat your mother? Do me a favour. Yeah, so we get the tour of the hotel as everyone's kind of shutting it down. It looks amazing, and you get a real sense that they're tiny in this hotel. It does look good, yeah. Truly massive. Of course, we get the standard Indian burial ground line.
Oh man,
that got a big laugh out of you.
That got a big laugh because that's like one of these. I've written that's the what's the deal with airline food of horror films, it's like you can't. I didn't know where it came from.
It's really Stephen King, because Pet Sematary, I think there's a few of them where he's used that as his kind of
Indian burial ground.
Yeah, you know.
Oh well, shit's gonna go wrong.
Shit's gonna go down when you're on an Indian burial ground. We're also introduced to head chef Dick, who can't follow instructions and is running roughshod over the kitchen. He's a bit of he seems very strange in this first scene. You meet the chef, Dick, who you can find out can communicate to Danny with telepathy, or The Shining as he refers to it. It is less creepy when it's described to you that way than when he looks at him and his brain just goes, "You want some ice cream?"
Oh yeah, that was another bit where I was freaked out.
Yeah, that was so unsettling.
Yeah, he was fine. Well, he's a bit weird initially.
Yeah, but...
You like lamb?
Yeah, you like lamb? 20 legs of them, man. Eat all the lamb. Yeah. I'm eccentric. Look at all this meat.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm going to go get some ice cream with him. Is that all right? And they're like, yeah.
Do you like ice cream, Doctor? Yeah, he has a chat with him.
You wouldn't leave a lad with a man nowadays, would you?
I'd leave with a head chef, like.
With a head chef?
Yeah,
you trust a chef?
Put him on the line, like.
Okay.
Not some of the head chefs I've seen in Hotel Hell, minds. They couldn't manage a ham sandwich, like, let alone a child eating ice cream. Yeah. But yeah, he tries to kind of have this, conversation with Danny, and as best he can probe out the info about The Shining.
We're introduced to The Shining, which I think is much like The Force.
Explain.
It's just kind of like, it's there. This happens.
And Doc is there. Doc is there talking about The Shining and his grandmother to little Danny across here. And there's a fat British. I go, "Oi, Doc! Oi, Doc! I don't know, shine."
Actually, yeah, we've got a second Doc as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we've got another Doc.
Building up that repertoire of Docs. We got Dick Doc.
We got Dick Doc.
Dick Doc.
Good team.
Room 237 is alluded to as being a scary fucking room.
No, there's nothing in there.
I'll have you know, room 237 is perfectly fine.
There's literally nothing in there. Don't go in there. There's nothing.
Let's just forget if we ever brought it up.
You'll just be disappointed. So I don't think that's going to come up later on.
And it's a month later. Danny going around the big wheel. Another kind of iconic shot.
Oh yeah, the tricycle following thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how... Like, I know it would be like a camera on a track thing, but even for now, that's kind
Maybe Kubrick just had some really, like, fucking awesome kids trailing him.
Maybe.
Camera on a tripod.
Yeah. Like, that shot seemed like it would be difficult to do.
I'll tell you, when I watched that, right, this was the first time since... the only other time this really happens is anytime I've been on a long-haul flight, but this was the first time since then where I felt really annoyed that I'm not tiny.
He looked like he was having a blast.
I just knowing full well that I could never have that experience.
The noise contrast between carpet and wood floor was like, I'm not going to really experience that ever again.
No,
No.
never. We're too big and gross.
Yeah.
What are you doing on a big wheel? Get off my carpet, like, you know.
Yeah. Jack gets up. He wakes up. It's only bloody 11:30. Who is he? Me?
Hey! Yeah, he's a big sleepy man eating his eggs and bakey. Yeah. He's got writer's block. It's a month in and he's still got nothing. Lots of ideas, no good ones. Oh.
But he likes it, and he feels like he's been there before. It's like a kind of thing. And Jack Nicholson does this little ooh.
Yeah. And as we all know in a horror movie, when a guy kind of joking goes ooh, it means shit's going down.
That's his first and last cute moment.
No, that was uncute. That was creepy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack. Mad old Jack. You'll be the death of us all.
Yep.
You will try to kill us. Yeah, we get a nice big awesome shot of the typewriter, and it sounds like there's all these big drums, and you zoom out and it's Jack Nicholson with the ball. Yep. It really sums clever. Up that frustration with I've never had writer's block anyway. Mate, just pen to paper content. That's usually when we write anyway. I think that's what it's like, right?
We write?
We do. We also get introduced to the maze as well. This point, and they start going through the maze, and it's I love this shot. I don't even know what it's thoroughly meant to represent, but then Wendy and Danny are running in it, and it slowly zooms out, and there's you see it's tiny, and Jack Nicholson is like
that shot made me feel a bit queasy. I don't know why. There's moments where I just feel a bit ill watching them. I don't know what's happening.
It is. It's unsettling.
Kubrick seems to have got this kind of weird hypnosis thing.
It is. It lulls you in because this is a movie, and when I was watching this, I thought, what a stupid thought this is, but it's like, if you couldn't hear, you had to rely on subtitles, this movie would be lost on you for a large part, because of that music is so important in setting that mood and that atmosphere, and that's why you get those moments, because something slightly is like, oh, that's a bit weird, and all of a sudden you've got these crazy shrill instruments.
It is the combination.
It's a 1-2 punch, and it knocks your ass out. Tuesday, Danny goes and has a look in room 237.
There's nothing in there.
Nothing in there.
Nothing in there.
Wasting your time, mate.
Full of nothing. Get back on your bike.
Jack is typing, and then Wendy comes in, and he goes quickly from cute to fuck off.
Jesus. Yeah, no, he gets into this whole kind of it's distracting rant, which is basically Christian Bale on the set of Terminator Salvation. It's like the same thing.
No!
Yeah, he has a right pop, doesn't he?
He has a pop at her. Pop's fired, mate. It was interesting because it's like, I know, so this is the first time in the movie where he swears. And because the dialogue is quite minimal at times up to this point, and just to hear him just go, get the fuck out of it. Whoa, language, mister. Quickly. Thursday.
Yep.
Just cuts to a shot of Jack looking rougher than a bear's arse. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. And these cuts to the black screen with the text, that's reminding me of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like,
there's no way I'm going to murder my family.
Jack murders his family.
You laughed massively at this point. He shot the shot of Jack where he just looks really scary and dirty and tired. And
I was just laughing at how...
When you went, this was the exact noise you went...
It's because it was like, oh, he looks really creepy. Ha ha ha. Oh, he's still there.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at that.
It's just wow. He's playing you like a fiddle, son.
He is. Kubrick's getting me.
Saturday, we get a radio conversation with the police. Nice. They were sweet and all small.
They were police. Sweet. Wendy is the sweetest. Her fashion sense.
Oh yeah, she's sweet. Serious. Yeah, definitely. She conveys worry
Yeah.
She's so empathetic because like you can see like just the chinks in her armor because when she's smoking or whatever, you can just see the little twitches and you know that it's not all right under the surface. And like I think in a lot of movies like this, it's very easy to just kind of view that person as being like, oh, they're just being, like hysterical or something. But she does a really good job of like, you really kind of slowly builds with her as Jack gets crazier, she gets more sympathetic. Monday! Don't be blue, eh? I at one point I was going to try and do like that Cure song like for this, but it's not appropriate. No. We get the most fucking intense game of Don't Wake Dad ever. So intense. He's meant to go in and tiptoe in and just get his fire engine, and Dad is already awake. Your friend hasn't set the Don't Wake Dad thing down properly, hasn't put the spring-loaded bit in. You get this creepy heart-to-heart.
Yeah, he's really creepy when he's with his son. Oh, and actually, just before that, we have the twins.
Come play with us forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
That got you as well. I didn't think something could be referenced and spaced and then still be unsettling for you.
Yeah, there was a bit of space earlier, actually, with the bit where they're going around the room.
Perfect for a child.
I didn't realise how that whole scene was, like, shining.
Next time you get a big Pepsi Max at the cinema, I'm going to go, it's perfect for a child.
When we've done with all the classic movies, I'll just go back and watch things like Space, and I'll be like, I get everything.
You write a letter to Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
Well done, lads.
Thanks, guys. Wednesday, both of us at the start of this, even though we were both feeling a bit sad and scared, just went, that jumper!
We want to get one of those.
Danny is rocking this sweet rocket cardi.
Man. No, but I legit want one.
It's got a little Apollo USA.
Can you? I assume someone must make like grown-up ones on like Etsy or something like that.
Yeah, how creepy would you look like? I mean,
exactly.
Right. What you're really saying here, what we were both really were saying is, we want to be that little kid and can wear that jumper and go around the big wheel. Don't be no grown-ass man wearing that cute jumper.
I want to be a grown-ass man wearing that cute jumper for the Cinema Swirl Christmas card.
For our last Christmas music video, which we're going to shoot in the Hamptons. Room 237. Danny goes in.
Why? There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Wasting your time.
Ugh.
Wendy then all of a sudden she's down in the kitchen, hears this screaming, and this is another mood point which is just like, oh Jesus, it's an onslaught at this point. Jack describes this terrible nightmare he's had, and he goes into like too much detail. It's the kind of dream that if you had, I imagine you shouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah. You'd wake up and you'd think, oh, I had a dream where I chopped my wife and child into bits.
Better not tell my wife and child
I'll
this
censor
exact
that bit.
Yeah. I had a dream where I bits. That's what you're looking for. You would go tell his wife this.
Jack, what happened? Bits.
Bits and bobs.
I got a new bit.
He's got a new bit.
He's got a new bit.
Yeah, so Jack describes in vivid detail to Wendy.
Yeah.
And then she's trying to console him, and just as she is, Danny appears, and he's got these bruises all over his neck, and his jumper is torn. And no one wants to see a child beaten up, and it was.
No one wants to see that jumper torn.
Yeah, good jumper, good stitch work, runes.
Hope you can get a replacement because that's a classic.
And then of course it all comes up again when Wendy sees this and just immediately accuses Jack.
Yeah.
Of having struck him, and it's just fucking.
You get the sense that that's kind of understandable.
Yeah, really. And again, the sense of isolation is really like crazy because when you realize these are the only three people like for miles, and they're in this situation, you get a real sense of worry at this point. Jack goes to wet his whistle.
Yeah. What does Jack need at this point? A bloody tipple.
Hey. He needs a little something. 5 months on the wagon. 5 miserable months on the wagon.
This is not a man who needs a drink at this point.
No.
It's not going to end.
Although I would say, give him a White Russian at this point, he might calm the fuck down.
Oh, hey now.
Hey?
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, we haven't mentioned it.
You haven't mentioned this.
Right. We did mention it on the social media, but hey, I had a White
Cinema
Russian.
Swirl. And on Twitter and Facebook.com/Cinema Swirl.
I had a White Russian.
How was it?
Bloody delicious.
Was it better than the Pepsi Cherry?
Yeah, of course it was.
Fucking yes!
Pepsi still sponsors if you want to, but...
Mate, we could get 3 sponsors from White Russians.
Yeah. Kahlua,
vodka people.
The milk.
And the milk. The milk.
The milk.
So yeah, no, that's just good to know, but I think that, he goes for a much... he opts to sell his soul for a drink, in his own words. Not a good idea. Wouldn't sell my soul for a White Russian. And he gets really into this like conversation with Lloyd.
But that directs to the camera bit before you see Lloyd.
Yeah.
That's familiar,
It's a gif.
Is that a gif?
That's
and also creepy, very creepy.
Where he just starts laughing and
Jack Nicholson's face in this movie.
He actually at one point just started wiggling his eyebrows during this back and forth with Lloyd, and I looked over and you just looked. You had your head in your hands and you were just like shaking your head.
It's kind of like is that
Jack Nicholson,
his face.
He's a scary dude.
Creepy face.
It's weird to say, considering Jack Nicholson he's such a, as we said before this, he's such a ridiculous character of a person. He's like a rubber face. He looks like a cartoon. And to think he can actually really just get to you like that is a testament to the man's acting.
When you mentioned the white man's burden, what's he talking about?
I think, is it like...
That's a phrase I've heard.
Is that... Oh, this one of these things...
White man's burden.
This might be one of these things that you have to cut out if we say it completely wrong. I believe it's related to... It's like this kind of fallacy in people's heads that white people have to like have a certain amount of inset guilt, which is horrible to deal with because of all the atrocities committed or whatever, and it's actually a horrible thing to be... Yeah, it's like, it's actually awful to be white even though you're most privileged because... of, past discretions from your race. I think that's it.
Okay, well, with that in mind, he then refers to his wife as a sperm bank. So, what a character.
Yeah, he managed to creep you out and disgust you at the same time.
I had a bit of trouble with that sperm bank upstairs. That's really... not on. That's not on.
He goes on as well about like the time where he was accused where he hit his son, and it's just like, man, fucking terrifying stuff.
Wendy's too nice for Jack to be this cross at her because he's really having a proper.
He's got such vitriol in his voice, and it's like that.
All we know of this woman is like this really sweet.
Yeah, she never raises her voice and tells him to do anything. The worst thing she does is offer to make him some sandwiches. Yeah. And he fucking hates that.
What a fucking bitch,
Yeah, he's properly not having any of that.
Jack at the bar, actually, reminded me a lot of the Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah. I got that vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like thinking...
Yeah, I'd say that's a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hair alone, mate. That's it.
Really? Like, not...
You know what that's like right there? That's what it's like to be a regular person who watches movies. Right there. Whoa. Multiply that time. Do that a couple of times a day. Yeah. Spread over 10 years.
And I'll be normal.
You'll be normal.
Yep.
Take your medicine, brother. Yep. Wendy comes and says that, according to Danny, he was assaulted by a lady in a room. There's someone else in the hotel. She's hysterical. Jack is kind of like, well, I'm off the hook for being accused of this. Yeah. And he's like, what room is it? It's only room 237.
Which, as I've mentioned a few times, there's nothing there.
Oh, and it's come to that time of the movie. The time of the movie where I actually spent around 2 or 3 minutes knowing what was coming, trying to formulate some sort of way where I would not have to look at the screen.
Yeah. I just need to mention that this is going to get really creepy soon, but we do cut to Dick at home watching the news.
Oh, he's got
the newscaster.
Nude ladies on his wall.
Yeah, newscaster Glenn Rinker. So, just to lighten the tension before shit gets really weird.
Shit gets real.
Yeah, well, we see 237 and
the door is open. There's a light
to the bathroom. Now that green bathroom is horrifying enough from a homeware point of view. Location with Sam Jeff. Change that colour and you'll sell the hotel for a tiny profit.
There's a lady in the shower, and it's like there's so many hard emotions you run through here. All of them are bad. It opens up. It's a nude woman, beautiful young woman, and Jack. You keep coming back to him, and he goes through several stages of perversion, basically. And it's just like, oh my god, you're meant to be up here to find out who assaulted your child, and he's like, yeah.
There's a bit where he's just staring. With a big pervy face.
His eyes are just like sticking out on stalks. His mouth is open. It's horrible. And it's again, you're saying with this slightly too long. I've seen this movie a dozen times. And I was going over here. I was like, I know it's going to happen any second now. It still got me. When he starts kissing her, and then he looks in the mirror and sees that it's a gangrenous old lady, and it's the next 2 minutes are essentially
so horrible,
hell on earth.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that you would wake up when you were a kid screaming your head off, like that kind of thing.
That's top level horror, creepy.
The first time I saw this, I remember this stuck with. I had nightmares for weeks after this.
I probably will tonight.
Oh Jesus, Sam! Oh no!
I didn't write much for this because I was so freaked out. I just wrote "bath lady" in really.
I wrote "scary" in capital letters. It's fucking gross.
Because it sticks with you. We're not going to forget that.
No, thanks very much for having a podcast where we can discuss this in fucking detail. Ugh. Jack comes back to the room and he says that nothing's happened, and basically he's like,
nothing, mate. There was nothing in there.
His like revulsion after it is like, ooh. Kind of like, I get it, but you're still a creep. But it's just a vile feeling.
That's a little sympathy moment for
you feel sick to your stomach at that point. He's implying that Danny did it to himself. Red rum, says Danny.
Red rum.
Introduces this now. Red rum. I love a glass of red rum, mate. I like to unwind.
Red rum.
Jack then starts.
Tony.
Why does the Sopranos keep coming back into it?
It's Tony.
Jack swears at Wendy.
Yeah, he gets proper angry, more angry.
Oh, God. It's so tense.
It's not nice, no.
He dresses her down. Jack is then like walking off in a big huff and happens upon a party.
What is his point in that argument? I can't remember I remember he was swearing and he was angry, but I don't remember why.
He was swearing at her because he was like, I think he was implying that like she wanted him to leave or whatever, and then Joe said, "Oh, you want me to be like, shoveling driveways or working in a car wash?" I think he was implying that she's like somehow stopping him from.
Oh, it's like that was the you fucked up all of my life, but you're not going to fuck up this.
Yeah,
no, she hasn't.
She's not at all. Alright, if there's a prequel where Wendy is a proper rotter,
I want to see that because then I'll feel okay.
All right, you can balance
Jack's
this
character,
but there's some serious balance now to get this stuff.
We had a dick scene. I'm sorry,
dick scene. It is past midnight, folks. Give us a break, like.
We had a dick scene, and you mentioned something that I picked up on, and I'm sorry about this, but you said you had like really creepy kind of deja vu feeling.
Yeah, it was when Dick rings up the fire department to see if they can ring and see what's up. I just had this like dreadful sense of deja vu that I was watching that scene because it was very specific. There's like Venetian blinds and he's wearing specific pajamas, and again it was just like
you said it felt like you watched it really recently, but you haven't watched it.
I've watched it in years. Yeah. Last time I watched this, it was like 4 years ago. So
I leaned over and said, "That's called The Shining."
No, you went, "It's called The Shining." You said it all mysterious, like you're Morgan Freeman or something.
Yeah, but we're all getting a lot of kind of creepy senses of something during.
Yeah, I'll tell you, deja vu normally is, but deja vu like minutes after those two scenes, those slobber knocker scenes. It's like, no, I don't want you. Nope. No, go away. Yeah. Jack, he's in this party now, which is kind of a party full of people. He's like all fancy and regal.
In the gold room.
He's told his money's no good here anymore from Lloyd, and guy bumps into him, spills drinks on him. He's been cleaned off in the bathroom.
Yep. No problem, Jeeves the old boy.
Yeah.
And we get another colourful bathroom.
Very red. Very, very red.
That's a red room is what that is.
Hey, murder. He's there and he's like, he starts clearly when you reveal that he's the former caretaker, the guy who's warned of killing his children and his wife.
Delbert Grady.
And he drops an N-bomb, and Jack drops an N-bomb. Basically, it comes to it, he's implying that, you should probably kill your family.
Not only are they murderers, bloody racists.
Racist, dead ghost murderers. Ugh. Bloody hell. Indian reservations bring out the worst in everyone, like.
You are the caretaker. You were always the caretaker.
I corrected her.
Oh, yeah, no, corrected. Jesus. Just corrected.
Yeah. No! Don't correct me. Oh, Jack sabotages the radio.
Oh, yeah.
So they can't, and it's like, oh, no, he's definitely going to do this. Cut to 8 a.m., and we get a nice long Dick gonna save him scene.
Dick's heading in.
Dick's going in. Dick is going to penetrate this problem. He's going to insert himself into this situation. Yep. I hope he's brought protection.
What time do we get to Denver?
Yeah, it's quite protracted, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice short little. I'm going
Excuse
to Denver.
Me, what will the in-flight meal be like? You know.
And he phones up his mate, just saying that there's some unreliable assholes running that place and needs to go and sort things out.
Unreliable. You can't count on anyone.
Telling the truth.
You can't count on these assholes for anything. Cleaning, not killing their family, not selling their soul for drinks.
Unreliable. And then Dick's driving, and on the radio, the two presenters are saying, "This is what you call having a bad day. This is what you call heavy snow. You're tuned to Plot Reinforcement FM."
What? That's the dream. That's why we're doing this podcast. We're hoping that some local radio station is going to hire the two of us to do the drive time slot. Yep. Hey, Sam, I hear it's so warm out there today. People are wearing shorts.
That's what you call a warm day.
Hey, you're listening to Sam, Kevin in the evening. Drive time. It's that would be the easiest, man.
Email us if you've...
Email us if you got a slot on your
breakfast show.
Breakfast show.
Going
in Denver, Colorado. We can wake you guys up. We get Wendy trying to confront Jack.
Well, she takes the baseball
with
bat,
the baseball
and I was thinking, there's no weather for baseball
or rounders.
Yeah. No ball games out there because you're going to be in trouble.
No.
Yeah.
So she goes to confront Jack. She sees the typewriter. And another famous one, I think you mentioned this one at the start, the all work, no play. Distressing, going through all the different variations of it written.
Different formatting.
Yeah. It would be less scary if she was scrolling down on a Word document, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's something about every line you have to put the typewriter.
He's not Control-C, Control-V that.
No, he's typed that out for realsies.
Just imagine that situation.
There ain't no paperclip going to pop up there and say, looks like you're trying to murder your family. Like,
no.
Here's some templates to creep them out with your writing.
But yeah, that's a proper scary moment.
And Jack, it's great because every scene where you come across Jack sequentially in the movie, like, he starts off at the very start, like, something not right with him. And then it's like, oh, he's a bit creepy there. Like, or like, oh, he's kind of boy, like, wow, that was scary. And now it's just like, fuck, man, this dude is fucking terrifying.
Fuck this creep.
Yeah.
Run.
He's give me the bat. Give me the bat. Give me the bat. All he needs a title. I was just thinking, no beer, no TV, make Homer something. No. Go crazy. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, she bonks him, and he takes a fucking tumble. Jesus Christ.
He does, actually, I was saying, for such a loud film, Jack falling down the stairs, quite soft, the sound of that.
He's a soft man.
Yeah, he just kind of wilts down the stairs.
He's filled with lentils or ball bearings or something. He's kind
the music's really loud, but he just
bam
down the stairs.
And he really gets what's coming to him. He gets locked in the pantry without a tin opener.
Yeah,
she Twilight Zoned him.
He can he can have his fill of Rice Krispies in there. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, oatmeal. He's going to be regular as fuck when he comes out. They have no match for fibre-driven Jack Nicholson. Also, I like the fact, this is a movie, I think it's happened a couple of times before, where Jack Nicholson plays a character called Jack.
Yeah.
Just for, like, convenience sake on his part.
Yeah, well, I think either way, if it was not called Jack, we'd probably be just saying Jack Nicholson does this.
Yeah, so he's
it's like an Arnie type thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I'll always remember the name of Commander John Matrix, but that's just me.
John Matrix?
Oh, man, we're going to do Commando eventually. Right. Yeah, you can write that one down.
I want to just...
All right, next episode, Commandos go to the Swirl for people to vote on the basis of that reaction.
John Matrix.
John Matrix. And his partner, Barry Diehard. Wendy is like, it's great because even when Jack regains consciousness, he goes through his phases. He's like, open the fucking door. And then he's like, Wendy, I hurt my head real bad. Ooh, I need a doctor. She goes to get the snowcat, and he's like, yeah, he's only bloody sabotaged that as well.
Oh, what a what a saboteur he is.
He really is. 4 p.m. The spirit of Grady gives him a pep talk.
Yep.
You sound to me like you don't even want to kill your family, Jack.
Yeah, Grady's using reverse psychology to bully somebody.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I thought you were cool. Yeah. Guess us guys were wrong. But Grady's psyching him up. He's let out.
Yeah. That is weird because at this point it's like these creepy dead dudes
are actually
can open doors.
Because originally at the start, Tony, when he's talking to Danny, he's like, remember, it's just like pictures in a book.
It's not real.
And they're like saying, like, oh, it's like burnt toast, it's a remnant of something that's happened. But you see now they can actually, whoa, shit's going down here. Mm-hmm. Dick's coming. And we got another, like, on scenes on top of scenes on top of scenes here. Danny nicks the knife and he's doing red rum the whole time. Yeah. Writes it on the wall, then he starts screaming, You ever want to wake up in the morning? There's a good alarm. Just telling you.
Yeah.
You wake up, and they're just beside you with a knife. How's it going? And then I cut you a bagel because I'm a good host.
Aww.
Hey, yeah, distressing. He shouts, screams red rum at this point, and as he's screaming it, Jack Nicholson just does a bloody iconic bit of moviery right here. Bang with the axe.
The shot of the axe, him swinging the axe and hitting the door, and it's done quite a few times in two different doors. Mm-hmm. The camera following the axe perfectly.
There's real power behind the swing.
Really good shot.
And the noise as well. It just makes it seem like he's chopping it down.
And you can see why that's used not just once, like, because it's such a well done shot. All these camera movements to me seem like they would be. When was The Shining released? Is it like 80s?
Yeah, very early 80s.
It would be difficult to do. I mean, I know it is anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Kubrick, though, I suppose.
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
it's really
I mean, that's the easy answer
craft.
for it. But it's hard as well sometimes with scenes like this, because it's just a man chopping a door. It's kind of like to sit back and kind of go, you've seen it a few times anyway, where you can kind of go, oh, why is it that this is just better than any other movie where a guy hits a door with an axe, which happens quite a bit. Like,
that's why.
It's why, exactly. It's fucking really well put together. Here is John.
Here I am.
Here I am.
It's me,
Here I come
John.
to save the day. Jack Nicholson's on his way. Doc arrives finally, and he gets killed immediately.
Dick, you mean?
Shit, did I say? What did I say?
Doc.
Oh fuck.
Dick Doc.
Dick gets docked.
Yeah, and this was Dick's moment to shine.
Hey,
hey,
We get this terrifying chase now as Danny is being chased by...
Well, that Dick bit was like built up so massively, and then it's just, boom, axed, gone.
Yeah.
Dead Dick.
People say this is like the trope of, in a horror movie, like the one black character being killed off, like who's there to make.
No, that famous trope there.
The new groundskeeper Willie in all three of the Simpsons of this Halloween one did the shitting where he just keeps getting killed over and over again.
That trope that the black character has like a big arc and then dies. That famous trope.
Well, at least he knew what time he was arriving in Denver.
Yeah.
Thank God for small miracles.
I hope he had a good omelette.
I hope he enjoyed the radio stylings of those two fine DJs.
It's what you call a bad day. It's what you call heavy snow.
It's called heavy axe to the chest. Wendy goes off trying to find Danny and Jack, and you're subjected now to just a suite of terrifying imagery.
Weird stuff. There's
the guy in the animal mask who just sits up when he's filleting another dude. It's just like...
Now, I've been to a few of those parties, but this really wasn't...
As I may, I didn't press enter on clips for sale. I didn't agree to these terms. All right?
Yeah.
I'm not even private browsing right here, okay?
Yeah, I'm not incognito.
This is...
I'm watching a film.
What's going on here, guys? My Amazon preferences are going to go way out of whack after this.
That was weird, though.
Yeah. Also, seeing the former guy going, what a beautiful party. Blood all over his head. And of course, as well, the elevator full of blood one more time. Except this time, it's
for real.
It's for realsies.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is anything for reals in this whole kind of crazy, kooky world?
Yeah,
that's just my general philosophy,
Sam
guys.
is gesticulating like a goddamn madman right now.
Yeah. It was a long movie, guys.
Wendy is like, you just feel her fear at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That chase through the...
Oh, and so she goes into that room with all the
ghosts, all the skeletons.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that was like part of this whole creepy things to turn up thing, or whether she just hadn't been in the skeleton room yet.
She's really fallen behind with her husband on the upkeep of this place. I'll tell you right now, I was bad as the rest of them. When my girlfriend comes into the bedroom and she says, "Oh, buddy, dusty skeletons everywhere. You've not been cleaning it." Oh, don't get me started.
Yep.
I've been there. The chase through the maze in the snow.
Beautiful and terrifying.
Again, using the same shots as earlier in the big wheel.
Yeah.
Except this time you've got scary Jack Nicholson. Danny uses the same method from 101 Dalmatians to give him the slip, covering over the tracks and then jumping over. Works for Cruella de Vil and works for Jack Nicholson, two of cinema's truly evil bastards. Yeah, gives him the slip. Freezes.
Yeah, they get away.
And it's one of these ones as well where like I've seen this movie so many times. And
Dick did save the day because he brought the...
He brought the snowcat.
Snowcat,
yeah. So they managed to escape, but like this is definitely one of these movies where I've seen it so many times and I know they escape every time. And seeing them go off in that thing, I don't go, "Oh, thank God for that." It doesn't even faze me or register.
Help you.
It doesn't.
No.
They've left, they're fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't... And Jack's dead.
No, it's not that feeling.
No. And it's not the fact that Doc's dead, like, because Doc's death is... I can call him Doc.
Dickety Doc.
Dr. Dick is like, his death barely phases you, really, because it's so sudden.
Yeah.
So I'm always left wondering in this movie, is it just because of that long feeling of dread that you have the whole time, where you just feel at points.
It's like a slow build of just.
So when they finally get out, there's no kind of like, yay! There's no happy music.
Yeah, when they're leaving, you don't have them going, yeah, we're finally going.
No, instead
you just see it go.
You just hear Jack Nicholson going, duh,
duh, duh. I think he's been a bit more of the old booze.
Yeah. Fucking hell, that man. And then you end on that, of course, the long shot of zooming in onto the picture. It's like 1921, and he's there. Lots of theories and speculation.
Yeah, I don't want to be a ding dong, but what? You've always been the caretaker. He's always
lots. It's one of these ones open to interpretation.
Okay, yeah.
The loosest term of it. I'm not a shining buff by any stretch of the imagination. Loosest term of it is like it is basically kind of like hell essentially. Okay. And he's trapped there with them now almost. Kind of, if you know what I mean? They're kind of in this permanent place, which is kind of when he says he'll sell his soul earlier on for the drink, blah, blah, blah. That being said, there's a gajillion interpretations and theories about this, and I'm sure there's probably an official one from Stephen King as well. So that
is a good.
It's a real, it's a nice question mark at the end of it without being too kind of. Oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah. I can't wait for The Shining 2.
No, Shining 4 Salvation is where it's at.
It's distracting.
When you murder my family, that's distracting to me. How do I come over to your hotel? Murder your children? No! Oh, we're fucking done. Professionally.
We're done here.
Oh my god, that was an onslaught. That was heavy fucking going. Right, I never thought it would happen with Cinema Swirl. I'd be like, Jesus, that's a fucking tough day at the office.
But it was, yeah.
But Jesus Christ. Are you alright? I think we have to go watch something happy now.
I think so.
It did succeed in scaring you at points.
Yeah, definitely there was that feeling of dread. There was definite dread. There was fear.
You got why it was a big movie.
Yeah.
Was this one which you felt, having watched it as a youngling, it would have impacted you more?
Yeah, it would have sort of buried itself into my...
12-year-old Sam watching this, what do you think the outcome is? Because for me, I was like pissing myself in bed with this thing.
I would have been even worse than I am now, psychologically.
And it's really hard because, I mean, some people love this whole, the roller coaster. I've never been a massive horror film fan. I don't think you necessarily are either.
This is a horror film. It's also a Stanley Kubrick film, which is...
That takes precedent.
That sounds like a bit like, it's not just a horror film, it's
M&S horror film. Exactly. It's a horror film covered in thick double cream.
Kubrick's almost like a genre because it's like,
it's a special thing almost.
Yeah.
Enjoyable then.
Well,
it's hard to say, isn't it, for you? I mean, I think it's
really good.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just for me alone, to make a movie to do, it's just a movie, you know, and there's no cheap tricks.
No, but it does unsettle you.
It unsettles you. It does it the old-fashioned way through fucking perseverance, and it wears you down.
And it's obviously very meticulously done, that like perfectly to make you feel not good.
I think it'd be a weird one to ask you your rating for this one then on the back of that.
I'm not sure. My head's going for like 4.5 star wipes, really.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that with any kind of
You're
gusto.
not.
It's just like...
It just seems to think, would you recommend this to people, given how you're feeling at the moment? I mean, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, no, I do. I feel bad. It's because another factor in this is that it is late now. So as well as feeling unsettled, I'm also feeling tired.
I think there's a sense of, if you're watching this like first thing in the morning with a pot of coffee in you, you'll be
have
grand.
A different experience.
You're watching this at the end of this is a Friday, end of a long working week for us both, and I think we're fragile.
Neither of us needed this.
We're both weak men at the moment. Neither of us needed this. We needed something affirming now.
Yeah, 4.5.
I gotta go 4.5 star wipes. You heard it here first. Thanks very much for listening to another episode of Cinema Swirl, and as always, make sure you go over to facebook.com/Cinema Swirl and vote on our upcoming episode. And also be sure to follow us at Cinema Swirl on Twitter to keep up to date with all the latest happenings. And if you're on iTunes, leave a rating or review. Be sure you subscribe to get all of our episodes directly as soon as they're available. This episode was produced by me, Kevin, and was edited by Sam, and the music for this episode was also made by Sam. Make sure as well you head over to youtube.com and check out the Cinema Swirl YouTube page, where you can see some amazing animations done from episodes of past. Also, as well, if you've got a question, query, or comment you'd like us to discuss or go over in the opening moments of any episode, be sure to send your emails to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. The funniest and best ones will be read out. Thanks very much for listening to another episode, and as always, we'll see you next time on Cinema Swirl. Hello everyone and welcome to episode... Oh shit, I forgot.
Start again.
Start again. What number is it?
It's 5. Is it 5? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5.